Hey there, scientists. Today, we are doing an investigation about how we see. You are going to develop a model to describe that light reflecting from objects and entering the eye allows objects to be seen. Now, in order to do today's experiment, some of the things that you're going to need to gather is you're going to need some type of a box that you can close. You're going to need a flashlight, and you are going to need some various household items. So you get those things gathered up, and let's get to this, scientists. Welcome back, scientists. I am Mr. Steier, and this is Mr. Steier's classroom. And today, we are doing a simple investigation. The goal of our investigation is that we can understand how we as humans are able to see. Your goal today is that you can develop a model to describe that light reflecting from objects and entering the eye allows objects to be seen. Now, as I said earlier, one of the things you're going to need is you're going to need a shoebox. You are going to need some objects that you could fit inside of the shoebox or the box from around your house. And you are going to need a flashlight. If you don't have a flashlight handy, you might be able to use a phone and use the flashlight on the phone. But you need something that can emit or project light similar to what we would see the sun doing. Now, you are also going to need a volunteer. And that volunteer, you're going to need them to put something in the box that fits inside the box, but you don't get to know what that thing is. So there is something that is inside of this box, but I don't know what it is. Now, for the sake of display, there will be times where I will lift it up and I will show you the box. However, you should not touch the box. Box is going to be placed in front of you, and you are going to try to figure out what's in the box by using only your eyesight. I agree. I don't have X-ray vision. I cannot see what is inside of the box. So remember, you're going to leave the box sitting there, and what you're going to try to do is you're going to try to see what is in the box. Now, the last time we were together, we talked about the leopard. So if we can recall back to our information that we learned about the leopard, we're going to ask ourselves this question. How do you think a human's sight is similar to a clouded leopard's sight? How is the sight of a human, of us, similar to that of a leopard? Good point. Both the leopard and us, we're going to need light to see. If there's no light coming from the inside of this box, I can't see what's in there. We're going to need light to reflect off of this image in order for us to see it. That is 100% accurate. And we are mammals, so we are like the leopard in that our brain has to have the ability to process that image. Now, I know that earlier I held up some things, and I know that immediately your brain was able to process some of those things because you've seen them before or you know about them. So the things that we know from what we've experienced in life, our schema, that's going to help us to process this information and make sense of what our eye sees. So our brain is going to be a huge factor. So here's what we're asking ourselves. How can you model the idea that light allows objects to be seen. Most objects do not give off their own light. You can only see such objects when light from another source bounces off of them and enters your eyes. Buildings are full of lamps and other light sources that enable us to see objects in spaces that sunlight does not reach. In this activity, you will explore how you see objects using a light source. So again, my light source is my flashlight. And with this box closed, if I shine my flashlight on my box, can I see what is inside of the box? No, I can't, right? And why can't I see what is inside of the box? I have a light source. You are correct. It is because the light is not bouncing off of the object in there. The light is not bouncing off of the object. So I'm not going to be able to see what is in the box until I can get the light to bounce off of the object. Now, in order for you to be able to do this, you might have to find a really dark space, or you might need your teacher in your classroom to turn off of your lights completely. In this particular situation where I sit here today, both of my screens are giving off light. I obviously have sunlight coming in. There is lights behind me so that you can see me. I am not going to be able to go into complete darkness in order to do this experiment, in order to do this investigation. But you might have a place in your house, or you might have an ability at your school in order to create a space that has no light other than the light that you're going to be able to produce from a flashlight. So without light, can you tell what the object is? If you went into total darkness and you have your box, can you tell what the object is? And how much detail can you tell about the object? Can you tell me the object's size? Can you tell me the object's color? Way back at the beginning, we talked about you have to observe like a scientist. Can you make any of those observations? So I'm going to have the ability to peek inside of my box. Now, again, hopefully you can do this in total darkness, but if I just gave just a little bit of that flap open, just a little bit of that flap, now there's light going into this box, and one of the things that I can see is I can see that it is white. And I can see that it's white because the light is bouncing off of it and coming right back out to me. So I can see that it is white. So I know that whatever is in this box is white. Now, if I think back to earlier in this video where I showed you some of the items that may be in this box, it could be Olaf, it could be the child, it could be a ruler, it could be a scissor, or it could be a tape dispenser. Wait a minute, everything I showed you earlier was white. Okay, that's really not giving me any help to know what is inside of this box. All right. Now, again, I have ambient light coming in from my computer screen and from outside. I cannot make it completely dark or you wouldn't be able to see any of this video. So let's just take our light source and see what else I can get to bounce off. Okay, I'm just going to open my flap just a little bit more and see what details can I see. Ooh. I see that there's gray as well. So there's white and there's gray. Oh, wow. If I just give a little bit of a shine in there, I can shine all the way to the back of the box. I can get that light to bounce all the way back to me. So if I'm playing what's in the box, ooh, I can see that there's something clear. Okay. There's something that's like clearish white. It has a little bit of a yellow tinge to it. It's gray. There's white in there. If I get some more light in there at just the right angle to get it to bounce, I think I can see a sharp edge. Okay, so at this point, let's go over my information that I have, my scientific information when we're playing What's in the Box? I know that I think I can see a sharp edge. There's definitely gray. There's definitely white. There's something like clearish and yellow. If I think back to those first things that I showed us that could be in the box, at this point, I'm ruling out it's Olaf. It's not long and skinny, so I don't think it's a ruler. I'm thinking it's either the child Lego, but I didn't see any green, so probably not that. A scissor or the tape dispenser, because I saw something sharp and something gray and white. I didn't see anything pink, and the scissor had pink on it. So what must be in this box is a tape dispenser. And if I was in total darkness, and I had one light source, and I was able to open up my box and shine directly in there, what I'm going to find out is that my light is bouncing off of that image back into my eye and giving me all of the information that my brain needs in order to determine what is in the box, what this item is. And so this item is clearly a tape dispenser. And I know that because the light has bounced off of it and into my eye. My brain processes that information and I know what it is. So as you are playing What's in the Box, you're going to need somebody to put something in there that you don't know about. And then you leave the box setting in one space. Then what you're going to try to do is with the lid on the box or with the box closed, you're going to shine a light on it and you're going to see if you can figure out what it is. Odds are you can't, and the reason you can't is because there's no light bouncing off of it. After that, you're in total darkness, right? You're in complete darkness. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the lid off of that box, or you're going to open up that box. You're going to use your light source. You're going to shine it in there. And then you're going to see, does light bounce off of it? And when the light bounces off of it and that light bounces off, goes into your eye, your brain processes it, then what is the thing? And what are things that you notice about it? What are the observations? You heard me. I observed that there was something silver and shiny. I observed that there was gray, there was white, there was something yellowish. And again, if you look in there, you can see all those same things that I saw. And you know that I made an observation about my experience. So again, first thing we did, we gathered our materials, looking at our page here. Our step one was your teacher or some trusted helper at your house is going to give you a box with an object inside it. Then you're turning out all of the lights and you're trying to go into complete darkness. Step two is you're going to open the box. You're going to shine the flashlight on the object in the box. You're going to look at the object in the box. Then you're going to turn on the lights in the room. Okay, then you're going to turn on your light, right? And you're going to process what's in the box. And how is it that you were able to get the light to bounce off of that thing and know what it is? And why, when you were in total darkness, did you have no idea what was in the box? Because until I added the light to this box, I really didn't know what it was. All right. You are going to have discussions about this, and you're going to end up discussing how are your observations different with and without the light from the flashlight. How did that light change what you knew about what was in the box? And how does the light that you shine on an object make it back to your eyes? We've been using the word bounce a lot. The other scientific word we would use would be reflect. The light reflects off of the object into your eye for your senses to understand and for your brain to process. Now, some of you, and especially me in this exact moment, I was able to see something before I turned on the flashlight. Why was that? Yeah, because there's light all around me. Like, I can't go into complete darkness in this situation, or you would never get to see me. And I know you would miss that. As a critical thinker, moving forward, in steps 3 and in steps 4 of this investigation that you are doing today, you are going to create a model that shows how light reflecting from the object and entering your eye allows you to see the object. You're going to write captions that explain how light allows the objects to be seen. And in step 4, you're going to explain how you could revise your model so that you do not need to open the lid of the box to view the objects. How could you do that? That's going to be a really interesting one. And again, if the object could make its own light, it'd be a lot easier for us to see. Or if the box is really thin, maybe it makes its own shadow and you could figure out what's inside of the box. Or if the box wasn't open, but the box was made out of all glass, maybe then you could see what it is, because then the light is getting into the box even if you can't get into the box. The last question that you're going to get asked this week is it possible to see an object when there is no light? And why or why not? Is it possible to see an object when there is no light whatsoever? And hopefully you were able to get to a situation where you were able to take your box into a room where you have total darkness and figure out if you can see what is in the box in total darkness. This is a simple investigation, team. As a scientist, we need to do some of these simple investigations in order to have a clear understanding of what concepts we're trying to understand. And sometimes it is in those simple moments that we can understand scientific concepts of how light will reflect off of an object and how our brain will process it. Be a critical thinker, take careful observations, work hard, be a scientist, think like a scientist, work like a scientist, and have a great day. I am Mr. Steier, and this is Mr. Steier's Classroom. I will see you later. Bye.